launching. And I think that we see this a lot, right? You see a founder who just really like comes from a space and really understands the space. And many times, and I think I understand the question, Priyanka, please clarify if I'm going in a different direction. But a really passionate founder can move a product to a certain point without it necessarily being ready. Just because they have a network, they understand the space really well, and they can really articulate things that others can't. And then you see the scaling problem, right, or the founder's dilemma. As soon as you get that Series A and you start scaling, and you have to scale to a sales team and bring that up, a lot of times the problem isn't there, or the market isn't ready to buy in the way that the founder was able to push the deal. So we see a lot of companies kind of crash and burn after their Series A and have to try something new. And that's really tricky too, because it's really hard to suss that out, right? Is this something that you just have an incredibly charismatic founder who can make this move? Or is this something that is scalable and the market's ready and the problem is sufficient enough that it can move?
And we have another question, product question for Kat. If not already on the list, what is the decision-making process to decide to sunset, kill a product, service line, et cetera?
Yeah.
From Susan Clark.
Hey, Susan's my friend too.
Hey, Susan.
She promised me she'd be on the porch with a glass of wine. I hope that's the case. So, I mean, this is tricky, right? Because you're talking about something that's already been launched. So we already kind of missed the opportunity to say, hey, this probably isn't ready yet. And I think this is just like a hard graveyard question. It's like looking at the situation that you have going on, right? Is it selling? A lot of times you just have real shitty marketing, to be very frank. You either have a really terrible sales team that doesn't get it, or you haven't done the work to position the product appropriately with messaging. You can try to change those things. And that's going out in the market. It's doing your research again, talking to users and buyers, right? Big difference between what a user wants and a buyer wants. A user will tell you they want the button in the upper left or upper right, wherever. And a buyer might be like, this is the dumbest. This doesn't make sense. And it's number 72 on my priority list, right? So I think doing that research again, looking to see if it's a problem with execution or if it's a product market fit problem, kind of like Priyanka was saying earlier or suggesting earlier. I think if you find that like the market isn't there yet, you can get the market there if you have a gigantic budget, right? You can force the market to realize there's a problem if you spend a lot of money and you have a runway. Most companies in our space that are, doing the Series A thing do not have that time nor that money. And that's when you have to decide to sunset something or sunset your whole company if you just have that one core product, which most do at that phase. So I would recommend, if something's not being sold, that you go back and do that research again,